My name is Joanne Roney Hepworth, and I'm a candidate for the Hampshire County Board of Education. I was a criminal defense lawyer for 40 years in DC and in Maryland, and also I am a um, religious science practitioner. And I have had a property in Hampshire County for 25 years. However, I have only lived here since 2015. My husband and I moved up here to our beautiful, beautiful home on the Cacapan River, and that he built. And he's been here for quite about 10 years longer than I did because I continued to work. And we lived in Bethesda, Maryland. And then I came here, and he became ill, and I spent the last few years caring for him, and he passed away in February. So I also did a few years as an attorney for indigent children of in child abuse and neglect courts. And during that time, I was the guardian ad litem for 6 children, all of whom I'm still in touch with. And I only did that for 6 months, but they have been a great asset to my life. And one of the reasons I wanted to run for the Board of Education is that they, most of them were from families that were substance abuse parents or families of extreme poverty. And the school system was really an important aspect of them being able to survive. And I understand that Hampshire County has been having trouble keeping up with their special ed um, system. And the special ed system is something that's near and dear to my heart. So if there's something I can do while I'm on the school board to enhance our participation in special ed, I would like to do that. I was raised in Washington, D.C. I was born in Washington, D.C., and my father was a lawyer, and my mother was a teacher. My mother unfortunately died when I was only 5 years old. And I was primarily raised by a stepmother who was a phenomenal human being, but she was a professor of English and taught high school English and journalism for many, many, many years, and was a really great influence on my life. And my brother and sister and I all um, received graduate degrees and were able to finish our education and enjoy the fruits of it because of her and her relationship with my father. So that's a wonderful thing for me. And also, my sister was a curator at the Museum of American History in the Smithsonian, and my brother was a lawyer in Rhode Island. Since I've been in Hampshire County, I've become involved with the Pathways program in for housing for those people suffering from substance abuse. And I've been on that board for 3 years, and I've really enjoyed very much that participation, and hope to continue it also. Well, I believe that my background in the law and in child abuse and neglect gives me a perspective that may not be as available to others. I know that the children that I represented often had employment advocates and had a lot of help in obtaining the services that they need. And I'm familiar with IEPs and with the process for special education. And I really believe that Hampshire County needs to step up and take responsibility in this area. And hopefully I can be part of that. I guess my first goal is to figure out how it works, because honestly, I'm very very new to political life, And so I want to, I need to get to know the political structure in Hampshire County and West Virginia. And I think this is a great way for me to enter that area. And as I said, I want very much to see to it that we get our special education program up to par. I mean, it's alarming to me that we have been designated as an emergency, and I think that hopefully we'll be able to do something about that. Now, I also know that I may be having a lot of overly overly ambitious goals because there's very little we can do. I understand, but but I'm hoping that maybe either we can change that, or whatever we can do, we will do. Special education, no question. I mean, I think special education is honestly, I'm I'm at a loss as to why it hasn't been more a focus, because I'm sure that there are students in our community that need the help. And I know that I have a nephew who went all the way through high school and without being able to read, learning to read. Nobody knew he didn't know how to read, but he hit it beautifully. And it turned out he was dyslexic. He once he married later, he got help with his reading, and he ended up getting a master's degree in engineering and just really pursuing great things in life. And it's a big lesson that people can truly just be ignored and not get the education that we promise them just because we don't see what's going on. Well, as with anything, transparency is the key. Sunshine is we need to have more information. I think the Hampshire Review does a good job of saying what the school board is doing. I also think, though, that it's possible we could be more active in terms of being involved in the community to let people know what the school board is doing or what it wants to do, and how they could help to achieve our goals. I don't have any real idea of if there's a problem of discipline in the schools. I haven't been involved in any kind of awareness of that, but obviously mentoring is a really good system to create maybe some sort of, and civic classes and civic activities, I think, are a really good way to help children understand where they live and how they live, and to give them a motive for being well behaved. Well, I'm sure funding for special education is certainly a major issue, and I think also activities such as what we were talking about, civics, political clubs for, I'm sure, agriculture, or um, young politicals, um, clubs, and of course academics is the key, and of course a good football team is it's very important, as well as a women's basketball team. I have a deeply spiritual um, life that isn't traditional. That I don't um, I no longer belong to an organized religion or anything of that sort. But I have a strong spiritual connection with nature and with people and with my environment, and that spiritual connection is probably more important than almost anything else in my life. I have a great active meditation life, and I am, as I mentioned, I was professionally trained spiritual practitioner, And I'm really very interested in helping people in their recovery from addiction. I think that that's a really and it's an important thing. It was a wonderful thing in my own life, and for almost 40 years, I have enjoyed um, sobriety and freedom from any kind of addiction, and that's something I hope to offer to other people. And so that's something that I don't broadcast a lot, but that's definitely something that I think it's an important part of who I am. I think that it's up to you. It's up to you to have the government that you deserve, and it's up to you to make it count. Your vote is the most important thing. No matter how much money, no matter how many millions and billions of dollars people spend, they can't vote with money. And that's why your vote and keeping a good handle on it and getting to know what the questions are, the issues are, and the character of the people that are up for election, and to do a really good job of picking the right person.